grade fives. Happy Wednesday. I'm glad you've joined me for some math practice. So grab your math booklet and a pencil and let's get started.
All right, grade fives, let's get started working through our math today. So today is Wednesday, the 25th of March, and we are working on geometry for our morning math. So what is the name of this 3D figure? This is a rectangular prism. So rectangular prism. This is a rectangular prism. And how many vertices does a cylinder have? Now, a vertex is where two lines connect. It's a corner. Now, a rectangular cylinder has 0 vertices. It has not one vertex. So vertex is one, vertices are more than one, but the cylinder has none, 0. Okay, name this shape. This is a rhombus, but you may also know it as a diamond. Okay, next, what does one face of a cube look like? Well, one face of a cube is a square. Now I have a cube right here, and I'm going to pull it out. So if you look at the cube, this is one face of the cube. That's another face of the cube, and each one of the faces is the part that faces out, and it is a square. All right, and now number 5 is asking you to draw intersecting lines. So that's just where, think of an intersection when you're driving in your car. Right here, this where the two lines meet, that is your intersection. These two lines are intersecting. All right, so now on to the problem solving. A local artist was selling paintings at the art fair. She sold 20 large paintings for $200. She sold 10 medium paintings for $150 each, and she also sold 7 small paintings for $100 each. If it cost her $275 for the supplies, what was her profit from the fair? So we're going to break it up to make this math easier. We're going to break it up into the different paintings. So 20 large. So I'm going to write large, 20, and it's times $200. Okay, medium. She had 10 for $150. And small, she sold 7 for $100. Now I know there's more information there about what she used and what her profit was, but before we can figure that out, we do need to figure this out. So using the strategy for zeros that we practiced in class, 20 times 200, well 2 times 2 is 4, and we just add the zeros in, so hundreds times tens, so $4,000 for large paintings. Now for this one, 150 times 10, it's 1 times 150 is 150, times 10 we add a 0. All right, 7 times 100, well 7 times 100 is just 7 with 2 zeros. So this is what she made. We've figured it out. Now we're going to add it. I should have made my numbers line up a little better, but we add our ones, 0. We add our tens, 0. We add our hundreds. 500 plus 700, 5 plus 7 is 12. So I put the 2 here, and I put my 1,000 up here. Now I count 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. She made $6,200 at the art show. Not bad. Now we're going to do the art that cost her $275 for the supplies. So now we take our total that she has made. So I'm going to do this over here so you can really see $6,200. And we're going to subtract 275 from that total. So, sorry, I have a few takes here, but let's try again. 6,200 is our total. And then we're subtracting 275. Now I'm going to use Grandma and Grandpa's way to subtract. So I know that I can't do these two. I need to redistribute some. So I have to borrow from the hundreds. So I have 10, borrow from that 9. Now I have 10 ones. Take away 5 is 5. 9 tens, take away 7 tens is 2. 100 take away 200. I can't do it, so I have to regroup again. So I'm going to regroup or borrow from there. So now I have 11 hundredths. Take away 2 hundredths is 9 hundredths and 5,000. So from her art show, she made $5,925. Pretty good. Okay, now we're going to go through and do our long division practice together, and I'm going to go through each step, and hopefully that helps you. So 4 goes into 3 0 times. 4 times 0 is 0. So I have a 3. Now I pull down the 8. So how many times does 4 go into 8? Well, I know that, oh, this is a 3. Sorry, this pen isn't the greatest pen. It's a little messy. So 38. So I'm looking at my 4 times tables and I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, I know 4 times 9 is 36. So 9 times 4 times 9 is 36. All right, now I have to find the difference between the two of those. So 8 take away 6 is 2, and I have no 10s left. Okay, so now I'm going to bring down the 8. So how many times does 4 go into 28? Well, I know that 4 times 7 is 28. So my answer for 388 divided by 4 is 97. I'm going to switch pens for the next one because I don't really like this pen. It's a little bit hard to write neatly so close up. So hold on, just let me switch my pen. All right, maybe this one will be easier. So my next one, so it's 432 divided by 9. Now, 9 goes into 4 0 times. 9 times 0 is 0. The difference is 4. I'm going to bring down this 3. 9 goes into 43 3 times, right? Because 4 times, because 3 times 4 is 36. So 9 times 4. I'm getting confused with my facts here. 9 times 4 is 36. Okay, and then I'm going to look at the difference between these two. So 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So 7. There's a difference of 7 there. Okay. Now I bring down the 2 because that won't fit. I can't fit 9 into 7, but I can fit 9 into 72. And 9 times 8 is 72. So now I'm set for that one. I'm going to move on to the next one. So how many times does 2 go into 1? 0 times. Next one, 2 times 0 is 0. 1 is left. I'm going to bring down this 5. How many times does 2 go into 15? 2 goes into 15. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to focus this on there. Okay. 2 goes into 15 7 times. 2 times 7 is 14. And then I have to find my difference. There's my difference. Bring down the 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times. So 158 divided by 2 is 74. On to the next one. 7 goes into 5. Oh, sorry. 7 goes into 5 0 times. 7 times 0, difference of 5. Bring down the 4. 7 goes into 54. So looking at it, 7 goes into 54 7 times. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, and now I have to find my difference. So the difference between 54 and 49 is 5. And if you wanted to find that, if you weren't sure how I just did that, start at 49 and count up to 54. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. And I counted up 5. Now I bring down my 6. All right, how many times does 7 go into 56? That's 8 times, because 8 times 7 is 56. And I have a difference of 0. All right, so 546 divided by 7 is 78. All right, on to the next one. How many times does 8 go into 5? 0 times. 8 times 0, 0, 5. Now bring down the 6. How many times does 8 go into 56? Well, I just finished saying that 8 times 7 is 56, so it's 7 times 56. No difference. So now we're working with the 8. How many times does 8 go into 8? 1 times. 1 times 8 is 8. 0. That was a fun one. Sorry, my writing's a little sideways, but you get the idea. Okay, now on to the next one. Solve these multiplication problems using the strategy of your choice. To see, Grandma and Grandpa's way, check out today's video. So that's what you've done. Now I'm going to switch to a whiteboard for this because I find it might be a little bit clearer. So give me a second and I'm going to get my whiteboard. Straight using my children's very well loved whiteboard. So excuse the distracting mess. We're going to focus on here on our numbers. So when I'm doing 38 times 25, the easiest way to do it for Grandma and Grandpa's way, the way to think of it is first you're doing 5 times 38, then you're doing 20 times 38. So we start with 5 times 38. So 5 times 8 is 40. We put the 0 here and we just put plus 4 tens up here, okay? Now the next one is 5 times 30. So 5 times 3 is 15. Now we need to count up here. 16, 17, 18, 19. So it's 190. All right, now we're going to move on to 20 times 38. So 20 times 8, to make it easier, we put a 0 here to hold our place because now I can just go 2 times 8. Okay, 2 times 8 is 16. So I'm going to put my 6 here. And then I've already used those 4s, but I'll go plus 1 for plus 100s. Now I have 20 times 30. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 more is 7. Now we're going to add these two together. 0, 0, 9 and 6 is 15, 7, 8, 9. So 950 is the answer to our first one. Now say you really like the box window method and watching this was too much. I encourage you to watch me do the next 3 questions because the more you practice the steps and realize you're just doing 5 times 38 and then 20 times 38 and then you're adding them together. I know it gets confusing with where do my things up here go? The more you watch it and you practice it, the easier it'll get. So I'm going to erase this. And I'm going to do our next one. And our next one is 95 times 11. So I'm going to make it a little bigger so it's easier to see. 95 times 11. There goes my phone. Okay, so I start with, this one's a pretty good one for an example because I start with 1 times 5, or 1 times 95, and then I start with 10 times 95. So 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 90 is 90, right? It's the same steps. It seems a lot simpler when you're doing ones, so it's a good example. Now I'm going to go to my tens. 10 times 5 is 50. And I'm going to put my 5 tens up here because I need to figure out, so I remember when I do 10 times 90, okay, so 10 times 90, 10 times 90 is 900. So, and I have that 5, so it's 950. Okay, so going through that way, you could also have just looked at it and gone, oh, 95 won over. It's totally up to you. Now we add them together. 5 and 0. 9 plus 5 is 14. Okay, and then 9 and 1 more. It's 1,045. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. And the next one is 59 times 42. So let me erase my board here and get set up for 59 times 42. All right, and remember, when we're doing Grandma Grandpa's way, all we're really doing, let me grab this, all we're really doing is we are we're doing 2 times 59, 40 times 59, and we're adding them together. Up for 59 times 42. So I'm doing 2 times 59 to start. So I start with my ones place. 2 times 9 is 18. So I have 8 ones. And then I'm going to put my 1 10 up here so that I remember to add it. Okay. Then I'm going to go 2 times 50. So 2 times 5 is 10.
and 2 times 50 would be 100. If I just wrote 10 here, it would be in the right place. So, but I do need to remember my 1 up here, so I turn it into an 11. So 2 times 5 is 10, and 1 more is 11. So for my next one, because I'm multiplying 40 times 59, I just start with the 0. Remember, that holds our place and makes it easier to think about. So now, 4 times 9 is 36. So I would put my, and I've already used this, so make sure you cross it out. 4 times 9 is 36. So I'm going to put my 6 here, and then I'm going to put my plus 3 up there. Okay, and now 40 times 50, well, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 more is 23. So now I have 118 and 2,360 to add together. So 8, 7, 4, and 2. So my total is 2,478. Okay, so check. You can rewind and go through those steps again if you'd like, but that is my total. And I'm going to move on to the next and final one for Grandma Grandpa's Way. Again, this is a way that it's not our favorite way to do it. I know that a lot of you really like some other strategies like partial products and box window, but this is a handy way to know how to do it because it's a lot, once you get used to it, it's a lot quicker and it takes a lot less paper space up. All right, so let's erase. But again, it's up to you in the grade 5 curriculum. You get to decide what strategy you like to use. 75 times 31. 75 times 31. So remember, we're thinking of this as 1 times 75 and 30 times 75, and then we're adding the 2 together. So let's do 1 times 75. Now, 1 times 75, guys, it's 75. Okay? And now 30 times 75, put your 0 here, and let's go, because that's holding our place so that we're working in the 30s. We're going to go 3 times 5 is 15. Got my 5 here. I'm just going to put that 10 up there, or it's actually 100 up there. And now I'm going to go 30 times 70. 30 times 70. 3 times 7 is 21. And then I add 1 more to that because I have my 1 up here. Don't forget about it. So it's 22. All right, now let's add the 2 together. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or sorry, not 13, 12, and then we have 2, 3. It's hard to do math by yourself in a room where you're talking to people, but they can't talk back. All right, so I hope that this explaining Grandma and Grandpa's Way or modeling Grandma's and Grandpa's Way worked for you. Now, if you did it a different way, if you did box window, or if you did partial products, or if you used a personal strategy, that's okay too. Just make sure that you're getting the same answer as I got here, and then you'll know that you're correct, okay? So I went through the steps. If you did different steps, that's completely fine. And again, that's in the grade 5 curriculum. That's completely what you're meeting the outcomes by doing it that way. Just make sure that the answer's the same, because if the answer's not the same, then something went wrong with your calculations, because no matter which strategy you're using, they're all doing they're all doing the same thing, just with slightly different steps. All right, we're going to move on to our fractions now. Okay, so today we're working on parts of a set. So it says we know that fractions are often shown as parts of a whole like this. But fractions can also be parts of a set, like this. So if 2 friends were sharing these cookies, they would each get 1/2 of the cookies. So if you're going to break that into 2 groups, there are 3 cookies in each half. So there are 3 circles, 2/3 of them are shaded. So 3 circles and 2 of the 3 are shaded. So we're going to go through and we're going to answer the questions for each set of objects. So it says how many are shaded. So there are 3 shaded. And how many are there at all? 2, 4, 6, 8. So what fraction are shaded? And think of it like your spelling test. So 3 out of 8. Now I hope you're not getting 3 out of 8 on your spelling test, but it's just like when you write your score for the spelling test. Just like that. The bigger number, the number that's out of goes in the bottom, and the number that are shaded go on the top. All right, how many are shaded? There's 1 shaded, and then there's 2, 4 all together. So what fraction of the circles are shaded? 1/4 or 1/4. Remember how I said yesterday that 1/4 and 1/4 are the same
thing, this different words for the same thing. Okay, so now how many are shaded? We have 2 shaded. How many altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many of them are shaded? 2 out of 4. Now, you may also notice that it is a half, right? You could also write that as a half because those 2/4 and 1/2 mean the same thing. All right, they're just different ways to write the same thing. Let's move on to the bottom here. How many are shaded? 2, 4, 6 are shaded. And altogether we have 6, 8, 10. What fraction of the circles are shaded? 6 out of 10. 6/10. All right, on to the next one. How many are shaded? We have 1 shaded. How many in all? We have 3 altogether. 1/3 altogether. Okay, on to the next one. How many are shaded? So we have 4 shaded, and we have 5 altogether. It's 4/5, 4/5. That is my fraction of what's shaded. Now it's asking you to draw a set of objects and to represent them. We're just going to do it the same way. So we're going to draw the circles and we're going to shade them in. So 1/4. I'm going to do 4 circles. And I'm going to shade in 1. And that, if I was going to write it as a fraction, would look like that. 1/4, 1/4, or 1/4. Remember? Same thing, different words. Okay, 3/5. So I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to shade in 1, 2, 3. And that's 3/5. And then 1/2. So I know that a half is 2. 1/2, 1/2. All right, so that's our math for today. I hope that that was helpful to go through. And check back tomorrow for more math. Helpful. I hope that that helped you work through your math and answer any questions you might have and check your answers and make sure you're on the right track. If you have any questions, send me a Dojo message and I'm sitting next to my computer ready to answer and help. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow for more math.